A private compound in River Oaks that neighbors former presidents. A wedding banquet hall so massive it has hosted 20,000 receptions. And a commercial real estate empire built on a swamp that nobody else wanted. Most people think the kings of Texas wealth are the oil tycoons, the cattle ranchers, or the tech billionaires moving in from California. They are wrong. Hidden in plain sight, along the 6-mile stretch of Bellaire Boulevard in Houston, is a different kind of dynasty. These are families that arrived with nothing but the clothes on their backs, fleeing a war that destroyed their homeland. They started as refugees in overcrowded camps, scraping by on shrimp boats and assembly lines. Today, they are the shadow royalty of the Lone Star State. They don't just own businesses, they own entire zip codes. They drive Ferraris to eat street food, and they live in mansions that rival the most opulent estates in Beverly Hills. We are tracking the property deeds, the bank acquisitions, and the incredible rags to riches timelines to uncover the richest Vietnamese families in Texas. Wait until you see number 1. We are talking about a family so wealthy and so extravagant that HBO Max gave them their own reality show just to document their spending habits. Number 5. The Nguyen Family, the land baron of Missouri City. To understand the sheer scale of Vietnamese wealth in Texas, we first have to look at the land itself. In the world of real estate, there are agents, there are brokers, and then there is Danny Nguyen. While most real estate moguls in Texas made their fortunes drilling for oil or building glass skyscrapers in downtown Dallas, Danny Nguyen built his empire by seeing gold in the dirt that everyone else ignored. He is the commercial king of Missouri City, a suburb of Houston that he helped transform from a quiet bedroom community into a booming economic powerhouse. But to understand his portfolio, you have to understand his journey. It is the ultimate paradox of wealth. Danny Nguyen did not grow up with a silver spoon. He grew up in a war zone. As a child, he was incarcerated in 3 different concentration camps in Thailand and the Philippines. When he and his father finally set out for the promise of a better life, they didn't fly first class. They were stranded for 25 days in a small, leaking fishing boat on the vast Pacific Ocean, crammed in with 72 other desperate souls. Surviving that journey creates a different kind of business mindset. It creates a mindset that is not afraid of risk, because nothing in the boardroom can ever be as terrifying as being lost at sea. When he finally arrived in Texas, he didn't just want to live on the land, he wanted to own it. He attended Texas A&M University, but his real education was in the hustle. He entered the cutthroat world of commercial real estate, earning the prestigious CCIM designation, a qualification held by only a tiny percentage of real estate professionals globally. It is often called the PhD of commercial real estate, and he put that PhD to work. Danny Nguyen founded DN Commercial, a firm that dominates the southwest sector of Houston. We are talking about multi-million-dollar transactions involving shopping centers, massive tracts of raw land, and commercial structures that line Highway 6. His wealth is visible in his influence. He became the first Vietnamese American elected to the Missouri City Council, serving as an at-large member. But the real flex is his personal real estate portfolio. While exact figures for private real estate holdings are often shielded by LLCs, industry insiders estimate that the value of the commercial square footage moved and managed by his firm runs into the hundreds of millions of dollars over his career. He is known for spotting the path of progress before the bulldozers even arrive. He buys land where there are only cows and grass, waits for the city to expand, and then sells it to developers for a massive multiple. His lifestyle reflects this land baron status. He is a fixture in the Houston high society scene, often seen rubbing shoulders with mayors and international trade delegations. He has joined trade missions to India and other nations, representing the economic might of Texas. But unlike the old money families who hide behind gates, Danny Nguyen is out in the open, driving the growth of his city. He turned the trauma of a refugee camp into the power of a city council seat. He proves that in Texas, land is the only currency that truly matters. But while Danny Nguyen builds the city from the ground up, our next family feeds it. Number 4. The Tan Family, the supermarket kings. If you drive down the bustling Beltway 8 inches Houston, you will see a sign that has become a beacon for the Asian American community. It reads, Viet Hoa. This is not just a grocery store. It is a cultural fortress. And it is the crown jewel of the Tan family, led by the visionary, Vikan Tan Sunday. For most Americans, a grocery store is just a place to buy milk and eggs. But for the immigrant community, the supermarket is the center of gravity. It is where you buy the tastes of home that you cannot find at Walmart. And because of that emotional connection, it is a business that prints money. Nguyen Tan's story is a masterclass in scale shock. He didn't start with a massive international food empire. He started as a teenager fleeing Vietnam. His parents had bought him a passport to study abroad, hoping he could escape the war. He made it to Paris, France, where he worked the humblest jobs imaginable, washing dishes and bussing tables in restaurants, scraping leftovers off plates while studying to be an electrical technician. He was living on the margins of society, but in 1982, he reunited with his parents and 5 sisters in Houston, Texas. Houston in the 1,980 seconds was a boomtown, and the Tan family saw an opening. They realized that the growing Vietnamese population had nowhere to shop. They were scattered, buying rice in one place and vegetables in another. So the Tan family opened a small store. It was modest, it was cramped, but it was authentic. Fast forward to today, and Viet Hoa International Foods is a juggernaut. The flagship store on West Sam Houston Parkway is colossal. It anchors a massive shopping center that the family controls. We are talking about aisles that stretch for what feels like miles, stocked with live seafood tanks, holding lobsters and crabs, endless varieties of exotic fruits, and a butcher counter that moves thousands of pounds of meat every single week. But the wealth isn't just in the groceries, it is in the real estate. The Viet Hoa Shopping Center is a hub of commerce. It leases space to jewelry stores, herbal medicine shops, and restaurants. Every time a customer buys a gold necklace or a bowl of pho in that complex, the Tan family gets a cut. They also expanded into the wholesale game with Sun's Club. Think of it as the Costco of Asian goods. It is a wholesale warehouse where restaurants and smaller stores come to buy their supplies in bulk. Membership costs just $15 a year, but the volume is staggering. Pallets of jasmine rice, drums of soy sauce, and crates of imported noodles move in and out of that warehouse with industrial efficiency. This vertical integration, owning the retail store, the wholesale distribution, and the real estate underneath it all, is the secret to their massive fortune. Nguyen Tan has become a bridge between East and West. He famously stated that his store is where the two worlds meet, selling Heineken beer right next to Asian imports. He understood globalization before it was a buzzword. His influence extends deep into the civic fabric of Houston. He has served on the board of the International Management District, helping to shape the economic future of the entire southwest corridor of the city. The Tan family proves that you don't need to invent a tech app to become ultra-wealthy. You just need to control the supply chain of a community's daily life. But while the Tan family controls the ingredients, our next family controls the menu. Number 3. The La family. The culinary emperors in Houston, Texas. There is a name that is synonymous with Vietnamese cuisine. That name is Kim Son. To call Kim Son a restaurant is an insult. It is an institution, it is a dynasty. And it is ruled by the La family, specifically the matriarch Kim Su Tran La, affectionately known as Mama La, and her son Tri La, who has taken the business to dizzying new heights. If you have ever attended a Vietnamese wedding in Houston, chances are you have been to a Kim Son ballroom. They don't just host dinners, they host coronations. The story of the La family is the stuff of Hollywood movies. In Vietnam, Mama La was already a successful restaurant owner. But when the communists took over in 1979, she lost everything. She fled the country with her husband and 7 children. Their escape was a nightmare. They journeyed by boat over the treacherous South Pacific. They endured rough seas, starvation, and even a pirate attack. They arrived in Malaysia as refugees, with nothing but their lives and Mama La's memory of over 250 recipes. They arrived in Houston in August 1980. By 1982, they had re-established Kim Son in Houston's original Chinatown, near downtown. At first, it was a struggle. But Mama La had a secret weapon: her cooking. She didn't just serve food, she served nostalgia. She gave the refugees a taste of the home they had lost. Then, the family did something brilliant. They didn't just stick to traditional pho and spring rolls. They introduced Vietnamese fajitas and black pepper crab, dishes that appealed to the Texan palate while keeping their Asian soul. They bridged the gap. Today, the Kim Son empire is massive. They own multiple locations across the city, including the legendary massive restaurant and ballroom complex in Bellaire. This facility is a palace. It can host wedding banquets for hundreds, sometimes thousands of guests simultaneously. We are talking about a venue with crystal chandeliers, massive stages for live bands, and kitchens capable of putting out 10-course meals for an army. But their wealth isn't just in serving tables. Under the leadership of Tri La, the family expanded into the grocery aisle. They launched Mama La's Kitchen, a line of frozen broths and egg rolls that are sold in major supermarkets like H-E-B and Costco. This was a genius move. It took their brand out of the restaurant and put it into the home freezers of millions of Texans. Now, instead of earning money only when a customer walks through the doors, they earn money every time someone shops for groceries. That is how you scale a family business into a fortune. Tri La and his siblings have become fixtures of Houston's elite. They are not just restaurant owners, they are community pillars. They have hosted presidents, celebrities, and sports stars. When George W. Bush or high-profile politicians want to connect with the Asian community, they often find themselves at a table at Kim Sun. The family's real estate holdings are also significant. The downtown location of Kim Sun, which sat on prime real estate near the George R. Brown Convention Center, was a landmark for decades. Even as they faced the challenges of highway expansion projects taking their land, they negotiated deals that ensured their legacy would continue. The La family fortune is built on a foundation of hard work and hospitality. They turned a pirate-attacked fishing boat into a fleet of luxury cars and a culinary empire that defines the taste of Houston. But if the La family feeds the city, our next tycoon built the city's most famous playground. Number 2. The Nguyen Family, the architect of Chinatown. If you look at a map of Houston today, you will see a massive, sprawling district along Bellaire Boulevard, known as the New Chinatown. That district exists in large part because of one man and one family, Hai Du Duong. Hai Du Duong is the visionary developer behind Hong Kong City Mall. Before the Duong family arrived, this area was just empty fields and scattered strip malls. The center of Asian commerce was downtown, in the old Chinatown. But that area was cramping, expensive, and had no room to grow. Hai Du Duong saw the future. He looked at the open spaces of Southwest Houston and saw an Asian Galleria. In 1999, he opened the Hong Kong City Mall. This was not just a shopping center, it was a revolution. The complex covers over 400,000 square feet. To put that in perspective, that is the size of nearly 7 football fields. It is anchored by the massive Hong Kong food market, a grocery store that rivals any in Asia. But the mall is so much more. It is an indoor city. It features over 100 retail stores, cafes, jewelry shops, and law offices. It has a 2-story banquet hall. It features a lotus pond and traditional architectural details that make you feel like you have transported across the ocean. When Hai Du Duong needed funding for this massive project in the mid-1992s, traditional banks were skeptical. They didn't see the vision. He needed $16 million. A local bank could only give him $5 million. So, what did he do? He didn't give up. He worked with financial partners to secure loans from banks in other cities and even Taiwan. He leveraged everything because he believed in the vision. That bet paid off spectacularly. Today, the Hong Kong City Mall is the beating heart of the Vietnamese and Chinese community in Houston. The value of that land has skyrocketed. But the Duong family wealth isn't just in one building. They sparked a gold rush. Because Hai Du Duong built the mall, other developers flocked to the area. Luxury apartment complexes, banks, and office towers sprang up around it. The family's initial investment created billions of dollars in economic activity, and they sit at the center of it all. Hai Du Duong operates with the quiet confidence of a man who changed the map. While other billionaires might flash their wealth on Instagram, the Duong family's wealth is written in concrete and steel. They own the literal pavement that thousands of people walk on every day. They collect rent from hundreds of businesses. They are the landlords of the American dream for countless other immigrant entrepreneurs. Their story is the ultimate example of infrastructure wealth. They didn't just open a business. They built the platform that allows other businesses to exist. And in doing so, they secured a fortune that will last for generations. But even the massive scale of the Hong Kong City Mall pales in comparison to the sheer, unadulterated glamour of our #1 spot. Number 1. The Ho family, the reality TV royalty. We have arrived at the top of the list. Family that redefined what it means to be Vietnamese American in the public eye. The family that took the model minority myth and smashed it with a diamond-encrusted hammer. We are talking about the Ho family, the stars of the hit HBO Max reality series House of Ho. Led by the patriarch Bin Ho and his wife Hugh Ho, this family sits at the absolute apex of Texas luxury. Their wealth is estimated to be in the multi-millions, potentially pushing towards the 9-figure mark, built on a dual empire of banking and real estate. Bin Ho's story begins like many others on this list. He fled Vietnam in 1975. He arrived in the United States with nothing, but Bin Ho possessed a financial genius that set him apart. He didn't just work hard, he worked smart. He entered the investment banking world, a sector where very few Vietnamese immigrants had a foothold at the time. He founded a bank, built it up, and eventually sold it for a massive profit. Then, he pivoted to real estate development. But we aren't talking about strip malls. We are talking about commercial projects and residential developments that generate passive income on a scale that is hard to comprehend. But what makes the Ho family number one isn't just their bank account. It is their lifestyle. They live the crazy rich Asian life for real. Let's talk about their house. They live in a sprawling palatial estate in River Oaks, the most exclusive neighborhood in Houston. This is the zip code of oil barons and politicians. Their home is a fortress of white stone, featuring immaculately manicured gardens, a resort-style pool, and interiors filled with gold leaf furniture and rare art. In the show, we see the sheer scale of their spending. We see Washington Ho, the son and heir apparent, struggling with the pressure of taking over the empire. We see him driving a fleet of luxury cars, Ferraris, Lamborghinis, and G-Wagons like they are toys. We see Judy Ho, the daughter, navigating the complex expectations of a traditional Vietnamese family while living a modern, high-society life. We see Aunt Tina, whose flamboyant style and private jet lifestyle steal every scene she is in. The Ho family doesn't just spend money, they flex money. Bin Ho is known for his strict traditional values, often clashing with his Americanized children. But he shows his love through extravagant generosity. We are talking about 6-figure weddings, diamond jewelry gifted for no occasion, and private parties that cost more than the average American house. One of the most shocking reveals in their reality show was the sheer casualness of their wealth. They discuss million-dollar deals over breakfast. They fly private to Vegas for the weekend. They treat luxury as a baseline requirement for existence. But beneath the glitz and the reality TV drama, there is a serious power structure. Bin Ho is a heavy hitter in the Houston business community. His connections run deep into the banking sector. He has leveraged his liquid capital to become a financier for other major projects. The Ho family represents the final stage of the immigrant journey. Dynasty. They are no longer struggling for survival. They are no longer just trying to fit in. They are setting the standard. They have moved from the back of the house to the front page of the tabloids. They have successfully monetized their own life story. By putting themselves on HBO Max, they turned their fame into yet another asset class, opening doors for new business ventures, brand deals, and investments. Washington Ho has launched his own real estate team and music management ventures, leveraging the family name to build his own stack of millions. The Ho family proves that the Vietnamese American dream isn't just about safety and stability anymore. It is about power. It is about visibility. And it is about having enough money to do whatever you want, whenever you want, and having a camera crew there to film it. From the refugee camps of Southeast Asia to the private ballrooms of River Oaks, these families have traveled a distance that cannot be measured in miles. They are the Nguyen land barons, the Tan supermarket kings, the La culinary emperors, the Duong infrastructure titans, and the Ho banking dynasty. They came to Texas when it was a land of oil and cowboys, and they carved out a new identity for the state. They proved that you can build a fortune on pho broth and fish sauce just as easily as you can on crude oil and cattle. They are the shadow royalty of Texas. They own the buildings you work in, the stores you shop in, and the restaurants you celebrate in. So, the next time you are driving down Bellaire Boulevard or walking through the aisles of a massive Asian supermarket, look around. You aren't just looking at businesses. You are looking at the monuments of survival. Which of these empires impressed you the most? Was it the sheer scale of the Hong Kong City Mall? Or the reality TV glamour of the House of Ho? Let us know in the comments below. And if you want to see the hidden wealth of the Vietnamese community in California, where the fortunes are even bigger and the tech money is flowing, click the video on your screen right now. You won't believe who owns the secret Sriracha empire. Subscribe for more deep dives into the world of hidden wealth. I'll see you in the next one.